Alright, here we're going to test a network patch cord. It's wired for the straight through standard. It follows the 568B standard. To test this cable, we're going to use these simple cable continuity testers. They're an Ideal tool. They're from the Ideal Corporation. They're called the LinkMaster. They're pretty simple to use. They've got just one port on the main unit and a single port on the remote unit. Line it up, make the connection. And the other thing to realize is on the remote unit they give you the color code for for the 568A and the 568B standard. I guess they just felt like they should put something there in order for you to see, to use some of that real estate. Okay, now the only button on this unit is right here. If I hit the button, it does a simple continuity test. Now if you notice, you've got 4 green lights there. What the tester is telling you is that there's continuity on 4 different pairs, right? 568, Category 5 media, Category 5, Category 5E, Category 6, Category 7. A lot of media being used for networking today consists of 4-pair media. This happens to be Category 5E media, so this is good through gigabit Ethernet. Alright, so when we do the test, what the unit is testing is continuity on each pair. So 1, 2 represents the orange pair. 3, 6 represents the green pair, 4, 5 represents the blue pair, and 7, 8 for the brown pair. And you may remember building a network cable that when we put the wires in order, they went orange, white, orange, that's 1 and 2, green, white in the 3rd position, but then from green, white it went to blue, and that's why blue is 4 and 5. So orange, white, orange, green, white, blue, blue, white, back to green. So that green wire pair is split between pins number 3 and 6, and that's why you see the numbers laid out this way. The second thing this tool will do is a debug. Now, when we do the test, all 4 of them come on. Nothing comes on down here because the wire is good. If I hold the button down and everything lights up and I let the button go, now it's debugging. If something had failed down here, I could go into a more detailed test where it's testing each wire pair individually for what could be a problem. Now if you notice, there's 2 flashes on each one. The first flash is the actual test. The second flash is the good indication of the test. Let me put it back into debug mode again, and this time look at how long the lights are on. The first flash is a second. The second flash is about 2 seconds long. So that's the indication, and that's how you tell the difference between the two. Alright, so this cable seems to be good, which is a good thing. You'll have a chance to test some bad cables, and you'll see the indications not be correct. Alright, now the next tool we're going to use, you've seen in the classroom. It comes out of the Ideal Pathfinder kit, and I happen to have grabbed the A remote. Now the Ideal Pathfinder is a little more of a complicated tool, not too bad, but a little bit more complicated. It's got a coaxial connector and it's got 2 RJ45 ports up here, and if you look at the indications next to the port, it tells you which type of wiring standard to connect here. Now we're testing a 568AB wire, right? So I'm going to be plugged into this side. So let me make my first connection. And then on the remote unit, I have the same situation. This is the A remote unit. Got a connection on this end and a connection on this end, which is, I'm noticing, is starting to recess on me a little bit. Students are hard on the equipment, I find. So this end is labeled USC and a USOC and token ring. Over here, 568AB, 10 base T, and so forth. So I want to be on this end over here. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in my connector. And now get ready to do my test. Now before we do that, let's take a look at some of the stuff here on the main unit. On the main unit, I actually have two buttons here, both a test select button and then a mode button down here for what mode I'm going to put the tester in. So when I hit the test button, it comes up in a certain mode. And it came up in a regular test mode, and it gives me a pass indication here. And this indicator is on over here. This indicator is next to the A, indicating that it found the A unit. Now the Pathfinder comes with 4 units, A, B, C, and D, so it's a handy feature to know which remote unit you're connected to. Let's say you're testing the wiring from a room, one room, back to a telecom closet or something, and you plug in 4 of your remote units. You go back to the telecom closet with the indication of what remote ID the unit is finding. You're also mapping your wires and saving yourself time on some kind of an installation. All right, so that's handy to know. Now, so the test button and the mode button down here. Let's look at some of the modes. Because I hit the test button, it went right into a test and it passed. Now, if I hit the mode button before things time out, it'll go down here and light the config. And then if I hit the mode button again, it goes to tone. And if I hit the mode button again, it comes over here to debug. And if I hit the mode button again, it just cycles back up here, testing 568AB, which happens to be the 10 base T standard. So I'm going to rotate through and stop at debug and hit the test button. Now, we no longer pay attention to the A, B, C, D. Because we're in debug mode, we're now paying attention to the numbers in the gray area here, 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, 5, 7, 8. Just like we did when we used the LinkMaster tool to debug the wires, right? It's testing each pair. And again, you'll notice the 1 second and 2 second pattern indicating that it's being tested and then the test is good. Very good stuff to know. All right, so the other modes, I'm going to hit the test button here to take this out of here. Oh, I'm sorry, hit the mode button to take it out of there. Now if I hit the mode button again, see it comes down here to config mode. This is where I can now go through and I can select, am I testing for 568AB, 10 base T, this standard, token ring, USOC, or I'm going to learn a special pattern, right? Once I get down there, hit it again, I come back up here. So I want to make sure that I'm in this kind of test mode, and then I hit the button and it locks it into that mode, and now I'm ready to test, and we get what I call the happy sound. Okay, well I hope this helps you to know how to use the testers, and it was worth your while.